Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly hope you were able to be a little creative with that first lead, and let's get right into the second one. All right, lead number 2 for the day is an onomatopoeia or a sound effect lead. This lead gets the reader quickly involved in the story by starting with an event or some kind of action. If you aren't sure or can't quite remember what an onomatopoeia is, it is a sound. Oh gosh, how do I describe this? It's a sound, I guess, and you make it into a word. That's one way to say it. And I'll give you some examples in just a second. But first, I'm going to read you my boring lead, and then I'm going to show you how you can switch it around and make it a little more exciting. We were sitting watching TV when we heard thunder and saw lightning flash across the window. I was in my favorite chair, and my mom and dad were on the couch. A news flash ran across the bottom of the screen. Thunderstorm warning in effect for Washtenaw County. High winds and heavy rain expected. All right, so it's a lead. We've introduced the characters, we've introduced the setting, we've introduced or hinted at the problem that's going to come in this story. Now let's see a little bit better lead. Now we're going to see onomatopoeia, and I'm not really going into a big definition of that, because as soon as you see it, if you don't remember what it is, as soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that exactly. So let's see. Smash! The window cracked, the wind howled, and the door blew open. Rain poured in through the screen, drenching the welcome mat inside our house. I will never forget the fierce storm that invaded my house that night. So that could be the lead, and then you could go on with your story, but I decided to go ahead, and this is how I would bring in my story. And now again, this part might have already been somewhat written. Maybe even this part had been written before, because that's why it was my boringish lead. But now let's see how, because I would probably leave that completely out of my new story. So I would get rid of that whole thing. And this is how I might rewrite it to make it a lot more exciting. Beep! We heard the alert sound before seeing the warning flash across the bottom of the screen. Thunderstorm warning in effect for Washtenaw County. High winds, heavy rain, and a half-inch hail expected. I was in my favorite chair, and my parents were on the couch enjoying family movie night. I had been watching the lightning through our large glass window. It was coming so fast that the window looked as if it was lit by twinkling lights, mere seconds passing between lightning strikes. Not one to enjoy thunderstorms, I quickly got up and snuggled in with my parents, trying to ignore the growing violence outside. So I took this one little paragraph here, and I made it into an entire lead, made up of 3 different paragraphs, because remember, your lead does not have to be just one little paragraph. It can be the whole beginning section that's introducing your story, introducing your characters, introducing the scene. You should hopefully hint at the problem that's going to come up later on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to go back to that same document, and you are going to write another lead for the story that you're currently writing. And this one is going to be an onomatopoeia lead, and you're going to start it. So you're going to have to really think for a few minutes, how can you start it, and where in your story can you start it with a sound? All right, get writing, and I will see you back for one more lead example.